Hi everyone, welcome to today's training session. We're going to look at Finance 101 and goal setting. Um, it's really important that even during the current time, while we now are in lockdown, to set goals for ourselves. And it's important now and anytime really to have control over your finances and to just know how you can actually become financially free, financially independent, so that you can have a better, brighter future. So that's what today's lesson is all about. It's just having control over your finances and then looking forward to goals that you're setting for yourself that you can have a better financial future. So 3 key points we're going to look at when it comes to finances. The first one is a budget. What is a budget? Why have a budget? And how to use a budget? Then we're going to look at debt. What is debt? Is debt good or is it bad? And why you shouldn't have debt. So I think from that sentence there, you can pick up that I would suggest not to have debt, especially not bad debts. There is sometimes good debts that you could make where it's debt that you make, but you're buying an asset or buying something that is bringing in money every month, not necessarily bad debt or credit where you have credit cards for clothing accounts that you are paying money every month on a credit card, but you aren't actually getting money back for it. So it just keeps on being an expense the whole time. And then the third thing we're going to look at is savings. Why save money and some game plans on saving money. Now, the information I'm going to share with you, it's been many years of experience, and it's been many years of giving this kind of info sessions where we try and help people just have better control over their finances. And there are so many books you can read with regards to that. So for example, the one book I'm reading at the moment is The Ordinary Millionaire. And in this book, to be a millionaire, we all think, okay, if I have R1 million in the bank, I'm going to be set free. If I have R1 million, I would never have to work again. And it's not so much about how much money you actually have in the bank. There are many people who make millions of rands each year. Some people even make it within a couple of months, but they still are not financially free. So he, in his book, is saying that an ordinary millionaire can be anybody who is earning money and spending less than what they are earning. So that's a very important point. Is just never to spend more than what you're actually making. So that's where a budget comes in. A budget is just a document where you're keeping track of money that is coming in and money that you are spending. So you would have every month have what money I am getting in, and then any expenses that you make, you would put down and you would write down your expenses. At the end of the month, you take your expenses, minus it from your income to see if you have money left at the end of the month. And the whole idea is to make sure that you have more money left than what you are spending. If it is in a business setup, then let's say we work with a lot of ladies that own their own preschools. So if it's in your business, if you have all the money you make every month from school fees, fundraising, donations you get, and then you minus all your expenses, salaries you pay, rent you pay, toiletries, food, and at the end of the month you do not have a profit, then it would almost be better to close your doors and try again from the beginning and work out a better game plan on how you're going to run your business. If you do, however, have money left at the end of the month, you can either put that in a separate account where you're going to keep it for a rainy day fund. Maybe next month you have some children who don't come to school, you don't get that income, but you still have your expenses. Then you can tap into that money that you have saved and use that. Or you could just keep that money all the way until the end of the year, use it for a nice graduation, use it to pay your staff extra money for December. You could also, extra money you have at the end of the month, you could use that to reinvest it into your business. So go buy new charts, go buy some books, buy tables, chairs, mats, whatever you need to make your preschool a better preschool. Use that money to do that, because then with the preschool becoming better, you'll have more children coming, you'll get more income, and so your business can grow. very important to keep all your receipts. If you buy anything or spend money anywhere, you get a receipt. I've got a very good example of a lady who was on our preschool course, and she also attended this course. And luckily she did, and she listened to this advice. She had to pay admission fees for the children going to school. And what had happened is she had paid 50% of it. And about a week or two, maybe a month later, she went back to go pay the remaining amount of money. And when she went back to go pay that last bit of money, the school said, no, but you haven't paid the first bit of the money. You still owe us X amount of money. And she said, no, she definitely paid. And they looked in their receipt books and they couldn't find her information anywhere. So she said, no, she's got a receipt. She'll come back and she will prove that she did pay. And luckily she kept that receipt. She came back home. She got the receipt. She went back to the school, showed she had paid. And the school then, after some investigation, found out that the finance lady was stealing money, and she was taking out receipts out of the receipt book, the papers, so that there was no proof that these parents had paid money. So if the parents did not keep the receipt, they would have just lost the money. It would be their word against her word, and they would probably have to pay extra money because they didn't have proof that they had paid. When you also keep track of how much money you have, you won't overspend. And that's also where, when you keep track of how much money you're spending, you will have less expenses or less unnecessary expenses. Henry and myself did this a while back. We took our bank account and we printed out a bank statement for a whole month. And we would just go highlight all the times that we went and got takeout food. And by the end of the month, it came to close between 3,000-4,000 Rand that we were just spending on takeout food. That's a lot of money if you add it up every month. You could rather save that and use it for something better than just getting takeout food. So, looking at the next step, buying goods on credit. Whenever you buy things on credit, you are always going to pay more for the item than what it is actually worth and what you would have paid if you paid cash. So, for example, this couch that is for sale here, it's 7,000, let's call it 8,000 Rand if you were to buy it cash, or you can take the finance plan and it will cost you 480, maybe 500 Rand per month. Now, 500 Rand doesn't seem like a lot of money, which it might not be if you've got an income coming in, but you'll see there it's 500 Rand per month for 24 months. 24 months is 2 years. You must be sure that your income is stable and going to be coming in for the next 2 years so that you can carry on paying for that sofa. And you then want to hope and pray that nothing happens to that couch, that there's no fire or the dogs or the kids don't rip it apart, because then you'll be paying for a couch that you don't even have anymore. And usually when you buy things on credit, there's a deposit that you need to pay, or a certain amount of money that you need to pay up front and then you pay off. So it's good to make your sums, because 500 Rand for 24 months plus 800 Rand deposit, it would cost you 11,600 Rand for that couch over there. Which if you take that minus the cash price, that's 3,600 Rand difference. You could almost go buy a nice sofa just for that 3,600 Rand that you're paying extra, just because you want to pay it off over 24 months instead of saving up for it first and then buying the item. Now, you might not like what I'm telling you, but I practice what I preach. And whenever we want something new, whether it be, I'm just thinking of some examples quickly. I wanted a new Garmin watch that I could track my fitness. I had a Fitbit, but the Garmin was better suited for what I was doing. I then firstly went and sold my Fitbit, got money from there. I did some extra jobs at different places to get some extra money from there that I had the cash, and then I went and bought the Garmin watch. Same with my husband. When he wanted to buy a Canon camera, and it was quite expensive. And I just said to him, if you can find the money, we can go buy it, but we're not buying it on credit. And what he did is he sold his Xbox. He sold some Xbox games. He had some lights lying around that he wasn't using. He sold that. He also did some extra jobs along the side to get some extra money. And when he finally had all the cash, he went and he bought his camera. And it's actually a very good feeling when you have worked hard towards something and then you actually reward yourself for getting what you worked towards. And what's great then is you've got the item and you don't owe anyone money. So it's not a month-to-month basis where you now have to still give money to people after you've already enjoyed the item you've bought and you wish you had not to have to pay more money on it. The next thing, if you were to look at buying a car on credit, there's another book called The Millionaire's Mind Map by Jim Stovall. And he says in that book that millionaires never buy brand new cars. It is a dumb thing to do. It's a waste of money. Because you are going to buy that brand new car and it loses value immediately when you drive it. So you will never get money from that car, and whenever you want to go and sell that car, you will never get the same amount of money or more. You will always be losing money. So it's actually better to buy a second-hand car, and millionaires do that. So don't look at your broke brother-in-law or broke friends who are all buying brand new cars on credit, and it looks amazing they've got this car, but every month there's stress involved to pay back for that car. So this car would be 105,000 Rand brand new, but you can get it on a finance plan for 2,400 Rand. Trick is, it's for 54 months. That is a long time to be paying for a car. You need to again make sure that you're going to have that income coming in every month so that you can pay for that car. You also have a 10% deposit you need to put down, 10,580 Rand. So when it's all said and done, you are going to be paying 136 or 137,000 Rand for that same car that is actually only 105,000 Rand if you were to buy it cash. Now that's a difference of 31,000 Rand. And we have bought many times secondhand cars for between 30 to 40, maybe 50,000 Rand. And then you've got a secondhand car, very good condition, but it's cash. You don't have to continue to pay it off over the next 3 to 4 years. When we look at accounts like Hi-Fi Corporation or Dion Wired or Game, even clothing accounts like Edgar's, Mr. Price, all those places, any place where you are going to buy something where you pay it back monthly, you are paying way more than what it's worth. Also, these kind of contracts have these hidden amounts in them. For example, Edgar's, if you were to take out a clothing account with Edgar's, if you do not tick a box saying, I do not want this extra benefit or this extra service, they add it to your account, whether you know about it or not, and you will pay for that every month until you go through your statements and see, oh, wait, there's some extra costs here that I didn't know that I actually signed for to pay. So just looking at this home theater system, 5,000 Rand cash, or you can pay it off over 24 months and you pay 350 Rand a month. But there's all these hidden costs in the beginning, life insurance, service fee, initiation fee. So if you add all of those together, you are going to be paying a total of 8,332 Rand. Now that's a difference of 3,332 Rand. And I know you can get a really good speaker system or DVD player for 3,300 Rand. You really do not need the top of the range, 5,000 Rand one. And what is coming into play here is people care too much about what other people think of them. And usually no one is actually thinking or caring at all about what you are doing because they are all too busy worrying about what other people are thinking about them. So if we can just get rid of this idea of we need to please people or look good, rather know that I am content with what I have, and I don't need the best and the biggest and the latest and the newest of anything. And this is where commercials come in a lot because they make you feel like you need things, which you actually do not. So if you can get rid of that, then you will already sort out this whole thing of buying things on credit. You wouldn't feel you need to do that. So you can just again see that you are paying way more for the item than what is needed. Your clothing accounts like the Edgar's, Mr. Price, Truers, Foschini's, all those places, it always seems great because you can just go in and buy clothes whenever you want, but you are paying for it greatly. And their interest rate is the highest of anything that you buy on credit. So 22% interest on anything that you buy. You are paying back every month. When you have your minimum payment that you pay, you are actually only paying back the interest. You're not even paying back the money that you owe. So you will forever be paying down those or off those accounts if you don't start paying more each month to try and lessen it. And we're going to talk about that a little later on how to actually get rid of debt in your life. When I met my husband Henry many years ago, he had two Hi-Fi Corporation accounts. He had a Mr. Price account. He had an RCS card. He had a lot of accounts and owing a lot of money. And I said to him, I was brought up to not have debt, not have credit in my life. And if he is serious about us getting married one day, he needs to cut up the RCS card and then we can talk. And that's what he did. He cut up the RCS card, and luckily for me, he chose me above the credit. But what was scary is a lot of the accounts that he had, it wasn't even his. Like, it wasn't for him. Things were bought on those accounts for family members who couldn't get credit, who couldn't get accounts, and they asked him to open accounts so that they could buy things on credit, and then they would pay him, that he could then pay the company he was owing money to. Now, that is a biblical principle, that you do not sign credit, do not sign surety for anybody, no matter who they are. So if you are someone who also has family members who are trying to make you buy things on debt for them, you can go to the Bible and show them that it is not right to do so. Also, if they then don't pay you, you are the one that's going to lose your house, your car, your furniture, your clothes, your food, everything, because the companies are going to come to you for the money, not to them, because you're the one that signed that contract. So just looking at credit cards as well, you usually pay about 21% interest. So let's say you owe 5,000 Rand, that's 1,050 Rand interest. And your monthly minimum payment is about 5.7%. So that's 285 Rand. So you can see from that 285 Rand is not even half the amount of the interest that you're going to be paying back. So how are you ever going to pay back that 5,000 Rand if you're always just paying back interest? And remember, interest comes every month. It's not something that's just there once and it goes away. It is there forever. Let's say you owe 10,000 Rand. Now it's 2,100 Rand. The interest you pay back, 570 Rand. Not even near to half of that money that is now the interest. 20,000 Rand, the interest is 4,200. Your monthly minimum payment, 1,140 Rand. Again, not even half of what you would be paying to pay back the interest, never mind the money you are owing. So you're always paying back interest and never really making your debt less, which is very frustrating. And the reason you would not want to have debt is it causes stress and it can lead to medical illness. And this is a very serious topic, and we look at that in our nutrition talks and our health meetings we have, that stress is one of the main causes for so many illnesses and so many heart attacks even. So you don't want to put more stress on yourself. You never have control over your money if you're owing other people money. You also don't have control over interest rates going up and down. So by having debt, you're never actually in control of your money. You're always borrowing money from your future income, because you might have bought something on credit today and 6 months, a year down the line, you are still paying back for the item you got a year ago. So the money that you would have been able to spend 1 year later, you still can't spend because you're still owing it to someone else. It's really, if you think about it, it's scary. You don't want to get yourself in that situation. And if you are, don't worry, you can get yourself out of it. The first step is just to decide you do not want to live a life with debt. And I'm sorry to tell you, but if you do decide, you're going to be in the minority. Very few people will actually take the action to not be in debt. You pay more for the same product, like we just saw. It causes you to not reach your financial goals, and it causes unnecessary tension in the household. A lot of fights that happen in the household is to do with money. So why on earth do you want to add debt on top of that as well and have the extra stress of owing other people money? And it can stop you from owning a car or a home in the future. because if you have a bad credit score or you get blacklisted, there's no chance that you will be getting anything on credit later on in life again. So how can you pay off your debt fast? And this is actually the action plan that myself and Henry took about 11 years ago to start paying off all his accounts that he had. And it really worked well for us. There's another article about this from Robert Kiyosaki, one of the biggest financial gurus around, where he also talks about how to pay off your debt fast. And while I'm thinking about it, this book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, another really good book to read about how just making small, deliberate action steps every day will create a massive big difference in the long run. So the same with your debt that you want to pay off. You're going to start small, and it's just going to snowball and become bigger and bigger, a bigger and bigger difference later on. But you need to take that first step to say, I'm not going to be in debt anymore. So the first thing you do is you want to cut up all your accounts, the cards that you have for your accounts. What this does is it limits you from buying more on those cards, because if it's cut up, it is a schlep to go and find the account number and then try get it on credit, and the people don't want to give it to you because you don't have a card. So it's going to be very difficult to go and make more debt or more credit on that account. So cut them up so you cannot use them anymore. Then you write down and keep track of all the money that you owe. So in our case, we had the Hi-Fi Corporation, Mr. Price, RCS, I think there was one or two others, but we had a file and we had each account a statement printed to show exactly how much we owe. Every month when they would send us our bill to say what we need to pay, we would see what's the minimum amount, and we would then decide what account has the least money still owing. And we would take that account and we say, we are going to pay that account off first. So we would pay all the accounts, the minimum payment that they are asking for us, just so that we do not get into trouble by those companies. And then the one that we decided we're going to pay off first, all our extra money we would take and pay off on that account on top of the monthly minimum that we are supposed to pay. So for a whole, now that I think back of it, it seems like such a short time period, really, that we just decided no movies, no going out playing games, no eating out for food, no buying unnecessary things, no brand new clothes unless it is really, really necessary, no new shoes. All of those things are things that we didn't have to spend money on. So we said for a limited time, we are going to just buy the basic things that we need, and we're going to put all the extra money onto paying off these accounts. So once that account has then been paid off, we are now going to use that money that we paid on that account, and we're going to add it on top of the next account's monthly minimum. So the next account, remember, we paid monthly minimum on all of them, so we continue paying a monthly minimum on all of the accounts, but the next account is going to get the monthly minimum plus the whole amount of money that we paid on the previous account. It's not now that that account is closed, we can take the money we used to pay on that account for something else. No, you still don't have access to that money. That money goes directly to the next account. And when you do close an account or you've paid an account off, make sure you go into the store, cancel the account, and ask them for a letter showing it is closed. Because remember, like I said, with the Edgar's account, there are some hidden costs that you're paying every month that you are not even aware of, because you're just paying the monthly minimum and you're enjoying all the things you've been buying. But those things will add up every month if you don't go close the account. And then a couple of months later, there's a bill saying you owe them money again, but you haven't bought anything from them. So make sure the account is cancelled and closed, that you have a letter showing it is closed. And then you want to reward yourself. So, for example, when we finished paying off our Mr. Price account, we went and got a McFlurry from McDonald's. This was like 11 years ago. So to us, that was a big treat because we haven't been eating any takeout food or anything for a long time because we were paying off the accounts. So having that McFlurry was just to reward ourselves, saying, great job, keep on going. you are going to find a lot of people will be like, you're silly, why pay it off, no one cares, rather just live in debt. You will be amazed how much better you feel if you do not owe anybody any money. You know that when your money comes in, it is all yours to do with what you want to do with it. So that's how you get out of debt, and you just take it one step at a time and continue going forward. When it comes to savings, unfortunately, you can never save yourself to wealth. There's just no way you can keep up. Inflation, 10,000 Rand today is not what 10,000 Rand would be worth in the next 4 or 5 years. So if you're saving money the whole time, you will always be on the back burner. You need to find ways to make multiple streams of income. And I'm going to share one of those ways with you next. But it is still good to have a savings plan. And why that's good is it teaches you discipline, not to just spend money wherever you go. A lot of the financial gurus say when you get your income, you need to put 10% of that money away. You need to invest it immediately, save it, invest it, put it somewhere. So, this, if you're saving 50 Rand per month, would mean that you're only making 500 Rand a month. That would be 10% of it. So let's just see, 50 Rand each month, just put it away, put it away, put it away. In a year's time, you've got 600 Rand. Now, 600 Rand on top of what you would have had in December, that's an extra meal you can go eat somewhere. That's fuel money to go on a holiday. If you add 30 Rand to that 50 Rand and put 80 Rand away every month, you will have close on 1,000 Rand extra in 12 months' time. So if you make it a little bit more, 100 Rand would give you 1,200 Rand, and then 120 Rand, only 20 Rand more gives you 1,500 Rand that you would have extra at the end of that year, which you wouldn't have had. You would have spent that money anyway. It would have been gone. So just by saving that money, you now have a little bit of extra cash that you can then decide what you want to do with in December or whenever that year is over. And what we found to do in the household here as well is whenever we have loose change lying around, any coins, we've got 3 different little piggy banks, and we just take it and we throw it in that we don't even realize. And the one year when we opened it and we counted it, we had close to 700 Rand just in coins. So that was a really nice surprise to have that much money just extra for that month. So definitely get into a savings mindset, because saving a little bit is better than saving nothing. But then you also want to look at how you can create other ways of making money as well. And that's a very important thing that a lot of people who are financially free and successful have mastered. They have got multiple streams of income. So if one income stream disappears or they lose their job, it's not a worry to them because they've still got money coming in from other places. And that being said, a lot of people, when they have a job, they're like, I only get this much money per month. Yes, you're not in control of your income, but you are in control, or you're not in control of your salary, but you are in control of how much money you could make each month, your income that is coming in. So some extra ways to make money. You can host a fun day at your school. If you attended my event planning workshop, I give you many, many different ideas of games that you could play at the school to create some extra money. You can sell cupcakes, cakes, pancakes, anything ending on cakes people will buy. You can buy and sell some products. Nowadays with the lockdown, there's so many people buying and selling products online using WhatsApp, taking a photo, posting it on their WhatsApp status to sell it. So you just need to find a good product that you can sell. You could wash cars. We have helped our youth at our church. If they need to make extra pocket money or they have a camp coming up and they want some money, they wash the cars. They do something to make the money. You can provide a service in your area. Let's say you're really good with sewing. Why not get a group of people together and say, I'll teach you how to sew. You just need to bring your own material, and it's going to cost you 50 Rand, and we will do a 2-hour workshop on how to sew an apron or how to sew a tablecloth or a pillowcase, whatever you want to do. Find what you're good at and then provide that service in your area. Do extras on ads. So over here, There is a casting agency called King Clip Casting Agency. That's where myself and my husband have our portfolios up. You pay a once-off fee to go and get your photos taken, and they then load your pictures onto their system. And if there is a commercial or a soapy or a movie that needs people in the background, what they will do is they will actually pay people to sit there and be extras in the background. So you can get paid anything from 600 Rand up to, I got lucky one day. I was a featured extra and I got paid 20,000 Rand for 1.5 days work. And I got breakfast and I got lunch every day when I was on set. Another way is you can raffle off an item. So you can either find an item in your house. Many people get gifts and they actually don't like it, so raffle off the gift. Or you can have a company or someone donate something to you that you can raffle off. We raised quite a bit of funds this way for a charity we used to be involved with. So everybody pays a certain amount of money per raffle ticket, and at the end of your however much time you wanted to give the people, you will then pull a lucky number and that person wins the item that you are raffling off. You could ask companies for donations. This is now again speaking to our preschool principals and ladies. If you have an NPO number, an NPO status, then you can go to companies and ask them for donations, whether it's money or the product that they give you. You just need to have that NPO number first. And then you could start your own business. Now, that's what I'm going to share with you next. We are part of a business where you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have a lot of people there with you to create extra income for yourself. And that being said, I'm going to share a little video with you and explain it a little bit, but I can't get into all the details. So if you want to know more about this business, or if you want to have the details of that casting agency, then you can just get in touch with the Cuddle Trust and we can get those to you. So I'm going to share the video and then I will explain it a little bit more.
A unique shopping concept that will intrigue and excite you. It's called SSD. Switch, share, duplicate. It's so simple. Watch. Step 1. Switch. Switch where you currently shop and get great quality products at discounted prices with optional home delivery. Step 2. Share. Share this concept with as many people as possible to create buying power. This translates to more margin because of the volume, which we in turn share with everyone. Step 3. Duplicate. The more people we teach to do step 1 and 2, the more money we can make. It's as simple as switch, share, duplicate.
All right, so basically, this is things that we do on a day-to-day basis anyway, is we switch where we shop anyway. If I see a certain shop has a better deal or has a sale on at the moment, I would switch that month and I would buy there to save some money. It just makes sense, and it's financially smart people that take advantage of all of these different opportunities out there. So step 1 is just switch where you're currently shopping. So your monthly goods that you buy, tea, coffee, pasta, cleaning products, shampoo, vitamins, those things, instead of buying it from where you usually buy it, you are going to buy it directly from a manufacturer. And your benefit is you get a better quality product, you get it at about 30% discount, and you can get home delivery as well. Even now during lockdown, you can build this business. Then step 2 is just to share this idea with more people, and we will show you how you share it with them. But don't we do that anyway? Like if we see a good video or a quote, a funny video or a nice quote or a picture we like, we share it on our status, our WhatsApp status, or we share it on Facebook or our storyline or Instagram. So we're sharing things anyway, but are you getting paid for sharing that information? And if not, why not get better at sharing something that's going to be paying you money at the end of the month anyway? So when you share this idea with more people, there's more people buying their products through this model. You then get a percentage back at the end of the month on the money you spent. And the third step is just duplicate that. Just teach other people to also share this idea with more people. And if you have a little structure like that, where you've got 15 households all doing their shopping in this way, you will be getting about an extra 1,500 Rand in your bank account. Now that's an extra source of income. Let's say you had a job where they paid you 1,500 Rand a month and you lose that job. If you still have this money coming in, then you've not actually lost your job. You still have that money. You are covered. 1,500 Rand, to get that from a asset, if you have to put money in the bank, you would have had to save 260,000 Rand to get 1,500 Rand back from the bank. So to me, it was just easier to speak to 15 people, get them shopping in a different way so that we could make that extra 1,500 Rand. Right, so just finishing off today's session, if we look at goals just for a couple of minutes. And when it comes to goals, it is now more important than ever to set some goals. A lot of people with the lockdown are thinking, oh, I can sit back. When lockdown's over, everything will go back to normal and everything's going to be fine again. And it's not going to be the same when lockdown is over. And people who are just sitting back doing nothing, they are going to be worse off after lockdown. So you want to get your goals in place. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Make yourself a vision board. So for example, this is my vision board, my 2020 vision, and I've got pictures on here about everything that's important to me and my goals that I'm working towards. And this goes on the wall where I can see it on a daily basis. You have to begin with the end in mind, know where you're going, know what your goals are, but then it starts by taking action and just taking that first step, because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So speaking of the end in mind, you want to make a list of 100 dreams. What are 100 things you would like to do, have, become, see in your lifetime? And I would write them down. Unless you write them down, they are never going to come to pass. So have the courage to write them down and then start brainstorming, how am I going to get these dreams and goals made into reality? And again, that slight edge book, so important, because let's, for example, say you decide you're going to live healthy and your friend decides, no, that's actually not too important to them. You will decide on a daily basis to make the healthier choice when it comes to food. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to do some exercise. And your friend will decide not to do exercise and they will decide to eat the unhealthy food. That's fine. 2 days later, you don't really see a difference. 2 weeks later, you might see a little bit of a difference. 2 months later, maybe 6 months later, you will see a huge difference. So the same with your dreams and your goals. You are going to work every day, a little bit, to get to those dreams. And then when you do get your car, or you do get your dream preschool, or you do get your house, or you do get to further educate yourself or send your children to a really good school, and your friends are like, how on earth did you get that right? They don't see the many, many, many days that you worked towards that goal and that dream. And I would really encourage you guys, put these pictures everywhere, because you will get people who are going to be saying, no, you can't do it, or why should you be doing it? And the only reason they like that is because when you start bettering yourself and moving forward, they start looking worse and worse for not doing anything. So then they need to try and bring you back to also not do anything so that they don't look as bad. So don't listen to them, just continue forward. And I would actually love, if I'm going to show you here 25 questions you can ask yourself to get to that 100 list of things you would like to do, have, become, see. And you can take a screenshot of the slide, or you can ask us for it. We can also send it to you. But once you've written these goals down, if you achieve any of them, let us know. We love to hear from people who are taking action and actually get things done. So what are 4 things you would like to do for your community? 4 things you would like to learn? 4 family experiences you would like to provide? What are 4 things you would want to do just once? For example, we went shark cage diving. I'm very happy to never have to do that again. I've done it once. I've seen what it feels like. I don't want to go do it again. 4 things you would like to build. 4 health milestones you would like to reach. 4 things you would like to do for other people. 4 things you would like to create. 4 financial milestones you would like to achieve. What are 4 goals you have achieved in the past and you would like to achieve again? For example, the 94.7 cycle race that we have here in Johannesburg. Myself, my husband, and my dad have done it many, many times. And the first time I remember when I was going to do it, I said, I'm just going to do it once that I can say I've done it and then it's over. And when I finished, I said, wow, this was actually great. Like, I would want to do it again. So I set the goal again to do it the next year because I still had to train, still had to get myself fit and ready for the next year. So that could be one of those examples of a goal that you've done before, which you would like to do again. What are 4 hobbies you would like to pursue? What are 4 things you would like to do in your own community, in your own country, sorry? What are 4 countries you would like to visit? 4 cities that you would like to explore? Where are 4 places you would love to live for an extended period of time? For example, I'd love to live in Switzerland, not during their winter, but during their summer. Just live there and see how life is there and then come back to South Africa. What are 4 personal characteristics you would want to develop? 4 things you would like to own? What are 4 businesses or careers that you would like to experience? What are 4 challenges you would like to conquer in your lifetime? 4 things you would like to share or teach others? What are 4 wonders of the world that you would like to experience? 4 cultural events that you would like to attend or experience? 4 things you would like to design? 4 concerts you would like to attend? And 4 sporting events you would like to attend. I would love to go watch the Winter Olympics live. That would just be a dream come true for me, and it is in my dream book. So one day it will come true. I'm still working towards it. But these are 25 questions, 4 answers each, and you would have your 100 dream list or 100 list of goals that you would like to achieve. Now, you might not be able to think of 4 answers by each of them, but there might be some that you can think of 6 or 7 answers at. So it'll even itself out and you would get to 100. So if you would like to really go deeper into goal setting, keithabraham.com. This is where I found this blueprint. And he writes a lot of books as well about personal development, about goal setting, just focusing. And he's got a great webpage you can go and like as well and get lots of resources there. We can also send you this image if you just message us that you would like it, and we can send it to you. So what you would want to do is, from that 100 dream list that you have now written, you are going to select your top 3 goals that you would like to achieve first. Then you're going to take each one of those and fill in this whole page per goal that you have. Maybe take one at a time. What is the most important goal you would like to achieve right now? And then you fill this page in accordingly. So number 1, you want to write down your goal. Let's, for example, use, I want to lose 5 kgs of weight. Then number 2, what is my deadline? By when would I like to lose this weight? It doesn't help you say, oh, I would like to lose 5 kgs. Okay, by when? When are you going to start getting to action to actually make that happen? So you want to write down a day, a date, the month, and the year when you want to have this goal achieved. Then what are 3 driving emotions you will feel or experience when you achieve your goal? When you attach emotion to a goal, you are more likely to succeed and actually get that goal done, because it's a strong feeling in your heart. Then number 4, my 5 reasons why I want to achieve this goal. It doesn't help you say I want to lose 5 kgs, but you don't say why. You need to have a reason why you want to do it. That'll also help you to keep on track. 3 key milestones I will achieve along the way. While you want to lose weight, you will probably eat healthier, you will feel fitter, you will look better. So those are little milestones that are going to come automatically because of you working towards your goal. Number 6 is a difficult one, your personal development plan. So to achieve this goal, there are things that you're going to have to stop doing. There are things you're going to have to start doing. There are things you're going to have to do more of. And then there are things you're going to have to do less of. You cannot try and achieve a goal and get a different outcome if you continue doing the same thing you've been doing all this time. You're going to have to change something. But change is a little bit, it's uncomfortable in the beginning, messy in the middle, but it's amazing at the end. So just continue and persevere and get it done. And then what vision will I see when my goal has been achieved? You could have a very nice picture out of a magazine of a really slim looking lady of how you would like to look and stick it over that number 7, that you know you can visualize what you're going to see when it comes to pass. And then number 8, my 30-day plan of action for this goal. It's all good and well. You write down 100 dreams. The first step to action is filling in this form, this blueprint. And then what you want to do is say, what am I going to do in the next 30 days? What am I going to do in the next week? What am I going to do in the next day? What am I going to do in the next couple of hours to start achieving my goal? It doesn't help us say I want to lose 5 kgs and half an hour later I go and eat a slice of cake and have coffee at someone's house. I need to start saying no and stop doing some things immediately to take some action to achieve that goal. So that is the session for today. I really hope it opened up your mind to seeing how you can really take control of your finances and also how you can set some goals. It's really easy. It just takes a little bit of time to sit down and really focus on what it is that you want in your life. And we hope and wish all of you the best of success for your future. And we would love to hear back from you one day if any of your goals have been achieved. Let us know.